Emirates Cargo, an international company based in the capital city of Kenya, shared their market strategy, key trends, and how Emirates Sky Cargo contributes to Kenya's economy in enabling the supply chain of roses to the world. In a media roundtable, East African's regional manager Mr. Hendrik Du Preez and his counterpart East African cargo manager Mr. Sid Abdullah started the conversation.
The total freighter fleet is about 11 777, 200 freighters, and one 747 freighter. Emirates Sky Cargo hold a capacity comprising Emirates fleet of over 265 aircraft, including 12 freighters. Emirates Sky Cargo operates state-of-the-art cargo facility at its dual hub location in Dubai International Airport and Dubai World Central, with cargo being moved 24/7 between the two airports via a bounded virtual corridor. Throughout passenger freighter operation, Sky Cargo has become an important facilitator of trade between East Africa and the rest of the world.
Hendrik Preez tells how Kenyan farmers ensure the products reach international markets.
We predominantly facilitate the logistical side of it, so there's a lot of different companies, freight forwarders on this side that work with the local flower producers, and then they get in touch with us and we see how best we can facilitate that transport process for them, depending on what the demand as well. There might be some, like I said, the bulk of the flowers would go to the Netherlands. Last year, for instance, there was a demand during Valentine's for flowers directly to Australia, so we facilitated that process. The freighter went directly from Kenya to Australia, taking the flowers there.
According to 2020 statistics, the company has observed a substantial growth in the Kenyan market.
That we just had in 2020, Emirates Sky Cargo deployed 2 additional freighters. So we had 1 freighter to Maastricht Airport, and we deployed another one to Dubai World Central Airport in Dubai to accommodate the demand for Dubai and the Gulf countries. As per the statistics, that we have transported about 2,000 tons of flowers, mainly to the Netherlands and the Middle East. Transported 2,000 tons of flowers for January 2020. And mainly the market that we catered for was the GCC, the Middle East, the Gulf countries, and we had an additional freighter to the Netherlands Maastricht Airport. So in total, I would say we had an additional 2 freighters for this Valentine.
2019 was a very good year for us in Kenya. I'm very happy with the performance we had in Kenya last year. One of our key drivers last year was, like I said earlier, is developing new segments. We saw a growth in the cruising segment, for instance. There was a lot of pilgrims traveling to the Middle East. Student traffic. So supporting all of these different segments, and then like I said earlier again, we're constantly looking at how can we support the inbound industry. We had really good numbers coming in during July, August, September last year, and with our global reach, again, having access to over 150 markets globally, is how can we stimulate those markets and drive inbound during the peak inbound season, and during the outbound season is what can we do? We launched our Fly Better campaign the year before last, and the Fly Better specifically is how can we create and enhance the passenger experience across all touch points.
Rose business is not only one of Emirates' area of interest, as Mr. Sid Abdul informs us.
Like I said, our business is obviously from an air transport perspective, cargo and passengers. We've been in the market for 25 years this year. Our birthday is actually on the 30th of October this year. We've been flying here for 25 years. We've carried over 5.3 million passengers.
In the wake of the COVID-19 virus that has led to loss of lives and quickly spreading to Africa, Preez shares his thoughts.
This is not the first global crisis. Emirates has been around for 35 years. People tend to forget that we're not just such a new airline anymore. We've been around for quite some while. So there's a number of crises during the last 30 years that Emirates has weathered, and so not just in a time of crisis, normal times as well. We always look at, where we can redeploy aircraft, how we can readjust our schedules, what is where the supply and demand is, and see what is best for the company, what's best for our staff, and then at this stage, what we're doing is we're following closely what the World Health Organization is saying, what the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, IATA, and then accordingly adjusting as well, to make sure that we don't put any of our travellers or our staff at risk. You know, at this stage, as like I said, we are monitoring everything on a daily basis, an hourly basis. You know, we don't know how long this will last. You know, obviously, if it lasts for a significant period of time, you know, it will definitely have an impact. You know, there's already been some forecasts made by IATA this year how it will be impacting on the aviation industry. You know. But like I said again, from an Emirates perspective, we constantly review and see what we can best do on our side to mitigate the challenges going forward.
Despite innumerable global challenges such as climate change and diseases, Praise remain optimistic while sharing their future plans.
We're looking, obviously, is there any growth opportunities for us? You know, we're flying from, we're coming in from over 150 destinations globally, you know, and Kenya is such a key market for inbound tourism. So we're also looking and working closely with our stations in all those other countries to see, is there an opportunity for us to drive additional traffic, to grow the Kenyan brand out there and bring more tourists in. You know, and I think that for us is a key thing.